So this morning I've got a R1100RT 1997. It's a no start, so guys just explained to me it started up last week, was running for about 30 seconds and then just shut off, and now it won't start again. So there is a few other things that he's mentioned, but we're just here to see why it won't start basically. So the first thing that sprung to mind was quite a few years ago I had one of these to diagnose, and it was the crank position sensor. So the quickest and easy thing to do first of all, pull the plug lead off, whack in another plug, it's obviously not the right length, but now this is all painted metal on this cover, so if we get a spark that'd be good, but if we don't then I might have to use a crocodile clip or something. Just need that to sit down somewhere. That might work in there. So if I just turn the key on, crank it for a second. Okay. So that confirms the ignition side's more likely not the problem. But I'm not ruling it out completely just yet. So the next thing I think what I'll do, take the air filter out. I should probably mention that the customer also mentioned that he's having some funny things going on with the fuel gauge. So he's noticed that the fuel gauge has been reading incorrectly, and this was following a service by another garage. So he said that the gauge initially was showing the wrong reading. So he went to the petrol station, topped it up, and it took less than it should do. And then obviously today there's no gauge whatsoever. So what I'm going to do next is I'm just going to fire in some carb cleaner, brake cleaner, something that'll ignite when it gets in the engine. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a shot of carb cleaner. I'll probably do, and then see if it starts. So I think the fault is something to do with the fuel system. So the fuel pump is the first thing that comes to mind. So the next plan is to get this side cover off, because I think on these early ones the fuel lines run down to here, I think. So I'll make a start getting the cover off, I think. So I've pulled this right side panel off and I've found the connector for the fuel pump, and so what I'm going to do is I've got a power probe sort of tester here. I'm going to come down to the main one and try and get see if there's any power there basically when you turn the key on. Now there's a chance that there is power, and it might just be like a bad contact. And another thing is that the pump will only go on for a few seconds, so I need to hold that there and turn the key back and forth to see. Okay, so it's not there. Let's see if it comes on. Did you see that? That was a little bit of power there. That seemed like it. I'm trying to remember if brown is ground on BMWs, or I really can't remember now. So there's a voltage there for something. Voltage. Let me just pull this back a bit, see what colours are on the other side. Oh, well, there's your problem. So I've just moved that, and the wire's broken. It's a good chance that this is where the problem lies. So let's see if this green wire, you can see in there, look how bad that is. How did that even work? So if we've got a fuel pump on the end of this brown wire, I think that brown wire is supposed to be a ground. Let's see if that green wire is power. So you've got something there, it's 1.9 volts. I'm just going to turn the key on and off. A second. Yeah, so we get 12 volts just briefly, and I reckon if we connect that up to the ground on this test probe, hopefully nothing blows up, we should hear the pump and it should start. Now it might not be this one that's the pump, so that's connected to ground at the moment through the test leads. So the pump's working there, so you can hear it. Okay. Thankfully I haven't had to take this panel off because all the bolts down the bottom are seized. Yeah, I've opted to just join these wires together, and it is a bit of a pain in the ass for anyone who wants to take the tank off, because they're going to have to cut these. But in this situation it's hard to get the side panels off. It's going to take a long time to get the panels off and then get the tank off, and then I'd probably want to replace some of this wiring because it's not the best of wiring. You know, it's all a bit corroded, but this is going to get him by for a good number of years, I think. The fuel gauge now works. It isn't a full tank, I don't think, but that looks like it works to me. Sounds like the fuel pump worked. So there.